Welcome everyone back to the Herbal Bunny. I'm excited to announce that I am doing a 90-day hormone balancing program. For those of you who would like to join me, we're starting this on February 1st of this year. I have created a Facebook group for you to join if you have not done so already. The name of the group is 90 Days to Hormone Balance. I have the link down in the description box. Go there and join the group. We are going to be doing recipes on there. We're going to hopefully set up in the area to go for like walks and do some yoga and just to be supportive of each other, share our struggles, share our testimonies. It's a really good group for us to get involved in and to be supportive of each other in balancing out our hormones. Okay, so I want to do a class. I have to break this up into separate videos because YouTube will only allow me to post 15-minute videos. But in this section, we're going to talk about what hormones are, their functions, where hormones are made, what hormones are made of, the main hormones, the main glands in the endocrine system and their function, what causes hormones to get out of balance, relation between hormone disruption and cellular inflammation, what are endocrine disruptors, and what we can do to get our hormones back into balance. All right, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on the next few slides, but I do want to touch briefly about what are hormones and what they do. Hormones are chemicals that control many body functions such as growth, repair, and reproduction. So your gland sends out a chemical into the bloodstream that connects with a cell or an organ that has it perform a specific function. There are approximately 75 hormones in the human body. There's also been some research done where there's broken down at a cellular level. There's over 900 different hormonal functions within the body. Females have more hormones than males have hormones. Because there's so many hormones that are at a cellular level, that when one gets out of balance, majority of all the other hormones are going to be out of balance as well. Hormones are made from amino acids. There's three main ones. There's lipid, acid, and peptides. The lipid are from cholesterol that includes the steroid hormones, like your sex hormones of estrogen and testosterone, and also aldosterone and cortisol. The acid ones are hormones that are from your from epinephrine, norepinephrine. It's usually a thyroid hormone. And then there's the peptide hormones that are hormones that are produced in the pituitary gland that have oxytocin, your growth hormone, which is when you're younger, when you're developing. These peptide hormones are usually the short-lasting hormones. Here's a diagram of the main glands in the endocrine system. I'm sorry it's a little bit blurry, but basically from head to toe, we have our thymus gland, we have our pituitary gland, we have our thyroid gland, our thymus gland, our pancreas, our adrenal glands that sit on top of our kidneys, and then if you're male or female, you have your ovaries and your testes. Okay, so we're going to briefly talk about the main hormones and their functions. So the thyroid hormone, we have your T3 and your T4. The T3 and T4 help regulate body weight, energy levels, your internal temperature, also your hair, your skin, your nails. Your parathyroid gland helps regulate the amount of calcium that is being eliminated and absorbed in the body. And something interesting that when your body has too little calcium, it actually sends a trigger to your bones and it releases the calcium from the bones into your bloodstream. Then we have your pancreas, which produces insulin. The insulin helps regulate your blood sugar levels. It takes the glucose, puts into your cells, and it stores it for energy later. So you can always just say, I am not fat, I just have stored potential energy. We have cortisol that is usually released when you're in that fight or flight mode. It's also the fat storing hormone. We have estrogen that's actually found in both male and females, and it helps with developing the reproductive system. Then it has its BFF, progesterone, which tells the body to release an egg every month so that it can be fertile and attached to your uterus. There's a few different pituitary hormones. We have the follicle stimulating hormone, and this is produced in both males and females to release sperm and to help produce the eggs. The other pituitary hormone is the adrenocorticotropic hormone. It's a growth hormone and a follicle stimulating hormone, as well as producing prolactin and oxytocin, which is your feel-good hormone. And as I mentioned before, there's also the human growth hormone that is produced when we are younger to help us develop in our bodies as young kids into adolescence and into adulthood. Each hormone goes through this positive negative hormone feedback loop. So the endocrine gland, it sends out a message into the bloodstream to release the hormone to the targeted organ or cell, and then it waits for that organ or cell to send a response back into the bloodstream to the endocrine gland to tell it to stop producing the hormone. For an example, the pancreas would send out insulin into the bloodstream. Insulin goes to the cell, it attaches to this insulin receptor. Then a cell opens up and it allows glucose to come into the cell. Once the cell has all the glucose that it needs in there to be stored for energy, it then sends out another signal back through the bloodstream to the pancreas to let it know that it has received enough insulin. When our body is functioning properly and we have healthy cells, we're able to have the hormones come in normally, we have nutrients that are able to come in normally, and we're able to release all the waste that's within the cells normally. Unfortunately, when we have inflamed cells, we're not able to get the hormones that it needs, we're not able to get the nutrients that the cell needs, and we start having this toxic buildup within our cells. And this is where sickness and disease starts to set in and throws off hormone imbalances in our bodies and starts creating all these other insulin resistance and diabetes, hypertension, autoimmune issues, infertility, low libido, brain fog, fatigue. Then because we're not absorbing the nutrients that we need, we start developing deficiencies in B vitamins and iron, and the list goes on and on. Inflammation is actually a good thing. It helps to protect our body from foreign invaders. It produces these white blood cells that protect us from infections and bacteria and viruses. However, when the condition is prolonged and it becomes chronic, then that's where these diseases and sicknesses and weaknesses in our bodies come from prolonged inflammation. Some of the things that cause chronic inflammation in our body: there's environmental toxins such as air pollution, smoke, exhaust. There's our household chemicals, bathroom cleaners, laundry detergents, air fresheners, disinfectants. There's our personal care items: soap, TP, tampons, hair care products, perfume, makeup, lotions, if we consume large amounts of alcohol. There's a lot of the animal products such as dairy, eggs, red meat, pork, chicken, fish. Many of these animals have been injected with hormones and antibiotics, and we actually take that into our bodies, and that can cause inflammation in our body. Mental stress, depression, anxiety, PTSD, emotional stress from toxic relationships, trauma, use of recreational drugs or overuse of pharmaceutical drugs, electromagnetic, which is our cell phones, cell towers, our smart meters, Wi-Fi. There's lack of mobility, no exercise. We're just kind of sitting around all day, or we have a job where we don't move around a whole lot. Being overweight. There's also not getting enough sunshine. We're not grounding ourselves. We're not drinking enough water. We have low vitamins and minerals. There's a lot of other things that can cause chronic inflammation, such as not getting enough sleep and not taking care of ourselves and our own needs. How inflammation affects the body. There's different areas, pretty much all of our organs, it could have some sort of effect on it. Like, for instance, our brain, it could cause poor memory or Alzheimer's, MS, our cardiovascular with heart disease, have high blood sugar, high blood pressure, have a potential risk for stroke. We could have anemia. Our muscles, carpal tunnel, or muscle pain and weakness. Our bones can have fractures, osteoporosis. Our skin can become inflamed if you are prone to getting rashes or eczema, acne, psoriasis. It could be caused from chronic inflammation in the body. Our thyroid can become enlarged, or we can develop tumors. We can have hypothyroidism or hypothyroidism. Our lungs can become inflamed. We develop autoimmune issues. There's our GI tract. We can have all sorts of stuff going on in our GI tract. Like I've mentioned in other videos, 70 to 80% of our immune system is actually in our digestive system, in our gut. There's our kidneys. We can have some kidney issues, kidney failure, kidney stones. Our liver, that is our main body's detoxification system. It can be built up with a lot of toxins that it doesn't recognize, and it has trouble eliminating them. It can turn into a fatty liver, and we can develop cirrhosis if worst case scenario. So what can we do to heal ourselves? Well, if we can build a time machine and go back about 200-300 years, it would make things a lot easier. But basically what we want to do is take the list of things that causes it and try to eliminate as much of those as possible. We want to get out, we want to exercise more. We don't want to do strenuous exercise because that actually adds stress to our body. And when we're sick, we don't heal as fast if we're putting more stress in our bodies. We want to do light workouts like walking, yoga, and playing. Like whenever you're working out, you want to make sure you're enjoying what you're doing. You want to show yourself some self-love. You want to be around positive people, positive influence. You want to declutter your life. You want to eat mostly a whole plant-based diet, so you're getting a lot of healthy minerals and vitamins. Meats that you do, if you are tending to want to eat meat, make sure that they are free from any hormones or antibiotics. Staying well hydrated, going barefoot outside, get yourself grounded. Don't sleep next to your electronics if you can. Turn off your Wi-Fi at night. Do meditation. We want to do a lot of journaling. Just keep in contact with yourself on how you're feeling, how your day went. Have positive affirmations. Just write down things that you would like to have happen. Speak as if they've already happened. Do it several times a day. I do mine 3 times a day. We want to do singing and listen to instrumental music, humming, to get our vagus nerve back into alignment. Our vagus nerve runs from our brain all the way down to our heart, our stomach, our lungs, our kidneys, and when we have inflammation in our body, it sends us in that fight or flight state. So we can do some humming, get that vagal tone going on, making sure we get plenty of sleep. We actually heal while we are sleeping. We want to make sure we're not doing any drugs or alcohol. Find your purpose. Do some praying. Find out what you like doing, what your purpose is doing, and fulfill your desires. If you have a desire to help people, if you have a desire of gardening, walking dogs, you love animals, love children, find out what your desire is and go after your desires, whatever's going to make you happy. Happiness is really key to healing your body. So the food guide pyramid we've been taught has been misleading, it's been incorrect. We need to have more leafy greens, more fruits and vegetables, less grains and stuff in our diet. The minerals and vitamins that we need are going to come mostly from the leafy greens and the fruits and vegetables. Okay, so my next video I'm going to talk more about the 90-day plan for hormone reset. I don't have enough time in this video because, again, I can only post a 15-minute video on YouTube. So be on the lookout for the next video. But right here, if you want to pause it, this is what the plan is going to consist of. Again, make sure you go over and join our Facebook page.